I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya.
I am all for doing what is best for this community in the long run.
And Flagler County Commissioner Joe Mullins says the best thing to do is to move the Flagler County Sheriff's Office Operations Center from the county's seat in Bunnell to Palm Coast. Commissioners voted unanimously to abandon the so-called mold ops and construct a new building next to the library on Palm Coast Parkway.
The heavier population is in Palm Coast, as we just saw recently that tragic shooting was right there. A lot of the problems and challenges they have are in those areas. So this will help response times. They're here to protect us. They're here to serve us, and we need to make sure that we give them the best tools and the best ability and placement that they can have.
Sheriff Staley called the decision a long time coming. Construction on the new 40,000 square foot building will take at least 2 years and could cost up to $15 million. Commissioner Dave Sullivan warned the project will stress the county's overall budget for the next few years and could lead to more delays for a new library branch in Bunnell. While plans for the new Sheriff's Office Operations Center are developing, the old building that's been vacant since last June will be at the center of several potentially costly lawsuits. More than 24 employees say they will file civil lawsuits against the county and Sheriff's Office, claiming both were negligent by requiring them to work in a so-called sick building. Tests identified mold in the building that could be linked to employees' illnesses that included rashes, respiratory problems, and headaches. Flagler County could pay out more than $8 million in damages if the lawsuits go forward and employees win. Those lawsuits are on top of workers' compensation claims, where the county could also be forced to pay millions to reimburse employees for medical bills. But Florida law is on the county's side on that one. It requires complaints to have clear and convincing evidence. That's a higher burden of proof than in many civil cases. Sheriff Rick Staley has sided with his employees, saying he has no doubt that the building made them sick, and he believes the county shouldn't hide behind a complex Florida law and instead should do what's right.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Sunwing Airlines nonstop to Toronto, and starting in May, nonstop flights to New York City via American Airlines.
Growth in Flagler County is undeniable. So what is State Rep Paul Renner doing in Tallahassee to make it more manageable? John Arking takes a look.
Renner, speaking on WNZF, said one thing they're trying to improve is the swiftness by which development projects can come to the table.
One of the things we're working on is developing what we call a shot clock when it comes to development orders, so that there's a defined period of time for cities and counties to respond and do their work and analysis, and some deadlines for approvals, so that we don't have what we would call a death by 1,000 cuts, where projects get drawn out over months and months and months, which gets passed along to consumers. So things of that nature, things that restore and improve private property rights that will continue to allow us to have responsible growth, are things that the House is working on. We hope our Senate partners join us, and we have some good outcomes in that area.
The full interview with Renner can be heard on the Free for All Friday podcast, available at WNZF.com. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arkin.
After seeing what Palm Coast Connect does, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley said he wants to see similar technology in the county.
Staley said that many of the calls that he gets are complaints of drug houses, barking dogs, and other quality of life issues in the county. He said that residents might not see his men and women at work solving the problems because the residents themselves are at work.
We're looking at that too now to just see how we can improve that experience, so a resident can log on at 3 o'clock in the morning if they want to and see what we did with their complaint.
Staley said he saw the preview of Palm Coast Connect and was so impressed that he's reaching out to Coastal Cloud for similar service. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Sheriff Rick Staley hung up his sheriff's hat for a bit in honor of National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Tony Magoo explains.
Sheriff Rick Staley put on the headset and put in some time as a 911 dispatcher. This was to show his appreciation for those who do the job day in and day out, the Flagler County Sheriff's Communications Specialists. Sheriff Staley affectionately refers to his dispatchers as the invisible heroes. They remain calm and reassure callers from all walks of life and in all different circumstances that help is on the way. I would like to express our greatest thanks to these men and women, and also to our community and our public safety partners for joining us, to thank them for all that they do, said Sheriff Staley. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.